If you are in IGNOU's Bachelor of Science Honours in Anthropology and you have reached BANE 154, you are probably getting two contradictory answers online. One set of pages says this dissertation is compulsory, another says it is optional. In this video, we settle that from IGNOU's own official course material, and then walk the whole journey from picking a supervisor to uploading the finished dissertation. Here is the direct answer first. BANE 154. Dissertation is a 6-credit project course sitting in semester 6 of BSCANH, offered by the School of Social Sciences. It is an optional discipline specific elective. But the moment you choose it, the fieldwork inside it becomes compulsory. You cannot finish this course sitting in a library. Let us lock the numbers. Course title Dissertation. Course code BANE 154. 6 credits. Semester 6. Course type, project, counted inside your discipline-specific elective quota. School of Social Sciences. 6 credits at 30 hours per credit means 180 hours of study time. And the mode of work is fieldwork. Read IGNOU's own wording carefully, because it decides everything that follows. The official course record describes BANE 154 as an opportunity to conduct a systematic field study of human subjects, to generate new information, verify existing knowledge, and reach a new understanding. It asks you to practically implement research methods, tools, and techniques in a real field situation, and it ends with one decisive line. This course would be based on fieldwork. Now, the biggest myth. Several large education portals describe BANE 154 as a mandatory dissertation that every BSCANH learner has to complete. That is simply wrong. IGNOU's own fieldwork manual for this course states it plainly. BANE 154 dissertation is an optional course in the 6th semester. It is a 6-credit course that comprises compulsory fieldwork, optional to choose, compulsory to go to the field once chosen. Put it inside the program map. BSCANH is a 148-credit program under the UGC choice-based credit system, launched in January 2020. 14 core courses give you 84 credits. 4 discipline-specific electives give 24. 2 ability enhancement courses and 2 skill enhancement courses give 8 each. 4 generic electives give 24. BANE 154 occupies one of those 4 elective slots. Nothing more, nothing less. Which semester exactly? Discipline-specific electives run in semesters 5 and 6. 3 are offered each semester and you choose 2. Semester 6 offers BANE 144 Visual Anthropology, BANE 154 Dissertation, and BSOE 144 Reading Ethnographies. An honest note here. One table inside the official program guide misprints this and shows BANE 154 under Semester 5. Every other official source, including the live course listing and the IGNOU collection, confirms Semester 6. We are telling you that rather than hiding it. So the real question is not whether it is compulsory. It is whether you should choose it. Compare the 3 honestly. BANE 144, Visual Anthropology, and BSOE 144. Reading ethnographies are taught courses with study material and assignments. Predictable workload, no field travel, no approval chain, BANE 1. 54 needs a supervisor, an approved synopsis, real field work, collected data, and an original write-up. It is more effort. But it is the only one of the 3 that leaves you holding work you can actually show to a professor or an employer. Before anything else, get your rulebook. BANE 154 does not come with theory blocks. It comes with a single document, the Fieldwork Manual, published by IGNOU's School of Social Sciences and available free on IGNOU. Everything binding sits inside that one manual. The synopsis rules, the data collection procedure, the structure, the format, and the assessment criteria. Read it before you read any coaching website, and yes, that includes ours. Here is the map of that manual so you stop guessing. Section 1.1, Introduction. Followed by what is fieldwork, dissertation work, and you and your supervisor. Section 1.2, Writing a synopsis. Section 1.3, Fieldwork and Data Collection Procedure, which is the longest part of the book. Then Section 1.4, Guidelines for Dissertation Submission, which breaks into structure, format, and submission, and criteria for assessment. An appendix at the end carries the pro formas. One preparation step almost everyone skips. The manual itself sends you back to BANC 110 Research Methods, your Semester 4 core course. To recapitulate before you write the synopsis and the dissertation. That course already taught you research design, the ethnographic method, observation, case study, life history, the genealogical method, interview schedules, and ethics. A quick myth check while we are here. Some sites claim BANE 154 is 240 study hours. IGNOU defines 1 credit as 30 hours, so 6 credits is 180 hours. Now a check that saves people months. IGNOU runs 2 Bachelor of Science Anthropology programs. BSCANH is the choice-based credit system program launched in January 2020. 148 credits over 6 semesters. That is the one where BANE 154 lives. BSCFAN is the 4-year anthropology program. The School of Social Sciences began offering from January 2024. 3 years and 120 credits gives a degree with a major. 4 years and 160 credits gives honors. Different structure. So open Samath and confirm your own program code before you plan anything. One more separation because the two get mixed up constantly. BANE 154 belongs to the undergraduate BSCANH program. 6 credits, semester 6, optional, governed by the BSCANH Fieldwork Manual. MANP 001 belongs to MAAN, the Master of Arts in Anthropology. That is a postgraduate dissertation with its own credit weight and its own guidelines document. Both are approved by the same anthropology faculty, which is exactly why people confuse them. Do not copy MAAN word counts or formats into your BANE 154 work. Next, the part that stops most students before they even begin. Your supervisor. This is where the second big myth lives. Students believe either that IGNOU will allot them a guide, or that they must go hunting for a professor with a doctorate. Neither is true. The Fieldwork Manual states that all academic counselors of the MAAN and BSCANH program at the study centers are recognized as academic supervisors for guiding your project work. Read that again. Your study center already has your supervisor. Walk in, ask for the anthropology counselor, and start the conversation. You may also propose a supervisor of your own choice. From university or college teachers, the manual sets the bar. A person holding a master's degree or an MPhil in anthropology with 2 years of experience qualifies. So does a person related to the discipline holding a position in any university or institute. Send a brief biodata of that person, along with your proposal to the program coordinator in New Delhi. The names are approved by the IGNOU Faculty of Anthropology before the study is undertaken. Only after that approval should you begin collecting data. And here is the rule almost nobody quotes, even though it is written in black and white. It is expected that you have at least 4 meetings with the allocated supervisor. Individual cases will vary, but the manual sets a minimum of 4 substantive consultations of approximately 30 minutes each. 4 proper conversations, not 4 missed phone calls. Book them early, spread them across the semester, and carry written questions to each one. So what is the supervisor actually responsible for? 4 things. Approving your research proposal, because your proposal is not valid until they approve it. Guiding the fieldwork, including practical advice on implementing the proposal in a real field setting, reading your draft chapters and returning comments before you finalize. And finally, certifying that the study is original and was carried out by you under their supervision. Now, the stage where your dissertation is really won or lost. The topic and the synopsis. To keep all of this concrete, we will build one study end to end and carry it through every remaining section. Our example is this: changing patterns of kinship, marriage and household composition among the Gond of Betul district, Madhya Pradesh. It is deliberately ordinary, and that is the point. A defined community, a reachable district, a question that genuinely needs fieldwork, and methods you already learned in BANC 110. Please do not copy this topic. Copy the thinking behind it. How do you turn a vague interest into a question your supervisor will approve? 5 steps. 1. Start from something you can physically reach and revisit, not something you admire from far away. 2. Narrow the population until it is nameable. A community, a ward, an occupational group. 3. Ask what has changed or what varies, because change and variation are researchable while general description is not. 4. Test feasibility. Can you get consent, language access, and repeat visits inside one semester? 5. Write the question in a single sentence. If it needs 2 sentences, it is still 2 studies. Applied to our example, the question becomes this: how have kinship terminology, marriage practice, and household composition changed among Gond households in 2 villages of Betul district over the last generation? From that question, 3 objectives follow naturally: to record the existing kinship terminology in use, to document current marriage practice and compare it with the parents' generation, and to describe present household composition, along with the reasons households themselves give for the change. 3 objectives, each answerable with data you can actually collect. What goes into the synopsis itself? Section 1.2 of the Fieldwork Manual is your authority, but the components are standard. A working title that names the community and the place. An introduction and background to the problem. A short review of relevant literature. A clear statement of the research problem, numbered specific objectives. The universe of study and the field site. Methodology, with the methods, tools, and techniques you will actually use. Sampling and the expected sample size, ethical considerations and your consent plan. And finally, a tentative chapter scheme, a timeline, and your references. Methodology is where most synopses get returned. A weak synopsis says data will be collected through interviews and observation. That tells your supervisor nothing. A strong one says who, how many, in what language, over how long, and with which instrument. For our Gone study, the methodology reads like this: participant observation across 6 weeks in 2 villages. Genealogical charts for 30 households. A semi-structured interview schedule administered to household heads. And 5 life histories collected from the older generation. Now every claim in your final chapters has a traceable source. Now a mistake that costs students an entire cycle. Your proposal goes to your supervisor or counselor for approval. Where you are proposing an external guide, the supervisor's biodata goes with the proposal to the program coordinator. Discipline of Anthropology, School of Social Sciences, IGNOU. Maidan Garhi, New Delhi 10068. It does not go on the online project upload portal. That portal's own instructions say clearly that synopsis and assignment uploads will be rejected. The portal is only for the finished dissertation. Approval done. Now the part that makes this course different from every other elective you will ever take. So what does fieldwork actually mean here? Fieldwork is the hallmark of anthropology, and the manual opens with Margaret Mead's line that we still have no way to make an anthropologist except by sending him into the field, because contact with living material is our distinguishing mark. In practice, it means three things: going to a real place, staying long enough that people stop performing for you, and recording what you observe systematically, rather than impressionistically. Section 1.3 of the Manual Fieldwork and Data Collection Procedure is the longest part of the book, and it lays out your toolkit: participant observation and non-participant observation, structured and unstructured interviews, the interview schedule and the questionnaire, focus group discussion, case study and life history, the genealogical method and pedigree analysis, anthropometric measurement where your topic is biological, and secondary sources such as gazettes, census records, and archives. You already met every one of these in BANC 110. Plan the field, do not improvise it. Week 1 is entry. Permission from local leaders, household listing, and deliberately no formal interviews yet. Week 2, build rapport, begin participant observation, and start writing the field diary every single day. Weeks 3 and 4, the genealogies and the interview schedule across 30 households. Week 5, life histories with the older generation and follow-up on whatever is missing. Week 6, verification. Go back to contradictions, cross-check them, and thank the community formally before you leave. Ethics is not a formality in anthropology. It is a named component of your training and of your fieldwork. Take informed consent before you record anything. Explain who you are and why you are there. Never conceal that this is student research. Anonymize names unless someone explicitly consents to be identified. Do not photograph people without permission. Respect a refusal and do not go back to persuade. Protect anything told to you about sacred or sensitive practice, and where you can, share your findings back with the community that gave you their time. 5 mistakes cost marks every single cycle. 1. Starting data collection before your proposal is approved. 2. Visiting the site once and calling it fieldwork. 3. Interviewing only the people who are easy to reach, which quietly destroys your sample. 4. Writing up from memory instead of from the diary. And 5. Quietly changing your objectives midway without telling your supervisor. If the study genuinely has to change, get it approved again. That is a normal part of research, not a failure. You have the data. Now let us turn it into a dissertation and get it submitted correctly. Section 1.4.1 of the manual gives the binding structure, and this is the standard shape it follows: a title page carrying the community, the place, and the course code. A certificate from your supervisor. A declaration of originality signed by you. Acknowledgements. A table of contents with lists of tables and figures, then 5 chapters. Introduction and statement of the problem. Review of literature. The field, the people, and your methodology. Data, analysis and interpretation. And findings, conclusion, and limitations. After that, your references in one consistent style. And appendices carrying the interview schedule, the genealogical charts, the consent form, and photographs. 2 pages in the front matter carry real weight. The supervisor's certificate confirms that the study is original and that it was carried out by you under their supervision. Your own declaration states that this work has not been submitted earlier to this or any other university for any other course. Get both signed before you bind the copy or generate the final PDF. A dissertation missing them is an incomplete submission, however good the research inside it is. Formatting is where borrowed advice does the most damage. Section 1.4.2 of the manual sets the format and submission requirements for BANE 154. Follow that section and confirm the current word and page range with your supervisor before you write. Ignore the figures you will see copied across dozens of websites, 10 to 15,000 words and 80 to 100 pages. Those are postgraduate project numbers, lifted from management programs and pasted onto a 6-credit undergraduate course. For the general page setup, font, spacing, and referencing rules, we have a separate IGNOU project format video, and it is linked below. Submission, step by step. 1. Get the supervisor's certificate signed and complete the front matter. 2. Fill the term and examination form for the applicable cycle and pay the project evaluation fee along with it. 3. Combine the entire dissertation into one single PDF file. 4. Upload it on the official IGNOU project submission portal. Not by email and not to a personal address. 5. Save the acknowledgement or a screenshot, and then track it on the project status page. The fee because people miss it and their work goes unevaluated. IGNOU's project and practical fee structure sets 300 rupees per course for project work up to 4 credits and 500 rupees per course above 4 credits. BANE 154 is a 6-credit course, so the 500 rupee slab applies. It is paid along with the examination form. If the fee is not paid, the dissertation may simply not be evaluated. And once more, the synopsis never goes on that portal. How is it marked? Section 1.4.3 of the manual carries the criteria for assessment of the dissertation. In general terms, examiners weigh the research question, whether your method actually fits it, the quality of the field data you collected, the depth of your analysis, and the clarity of the presentation. The program-wide pass rule is 35%, which is grade D on IGNOU's 10-point scale. And remember one thing from the program guide. The continuous evaluation and term-end components must each be cleared separately. They are not complementary to each other. And now the fourth big myth, which is also the most expensive one. Students assume that a disappointing dissertation result can be sent for re-evaluation, the way a theory paper can. It cannot. The program guide states that re-evaluation is permissible in the term-end examination only, and not in practical project report, workshop, assignment, tutorial, or seminar. Improvement in division carries exactly the same restriction, so your dissertation is effectively a one-shot submission. Treat the first draft as if it were the final one, and use your 4 supervisor meetings properly. Last section. Is choosing this dissertation actually worth it? And what do students keep asking? So, is it worth choosing? Let us answer that honestly rather than promotionally. For anyone continuing into anthropology, sociology, social work, development studies, or public policy, yes. It is the only point in the entire BSCANH program where you produce independent, supervised, original fieldwork. That is exactly what a master's admission interview or a research assistant role wants to see. But if you only need the degree completed and you cannot commit to a field site, a theory elective is the honest answer. Both routes give you the same 148 credits and the same degree. Where does it actually help? IGNOU lists the graduate outcomes for this program as eligibility for jobs through the Staff Selection Commission and civil service examinations, field assistant roles in anthropology and archaeology, work with NGOs, which are a major employer of anthropology graduates, and progression to higher studies. Across every one of those, a completed field study is the thing that proves you can design a study, collect data ethically, and write it up. We are not promising placements. We are describing what the work demonstrates. Now, the question students actually type into Google is BANE 154 compulsory in BSCANH? No. It is an optional Semester 6 elective, and you choose any two of the three on offer. The fieldwork inside it becomes compulsory once you opt in. How many credits is BANE 154? 6 credits, which works out to 180 hours of study time at IGNOU's standard of 30 hours per credit. Who will be my BANE 154 supervisor? Every academic counselor of the MAAN or BSCANH program at your study center is a recognized academic supervisor. You may also propose your own, subject to approval by the Anthropology faculty. Can I start fieldwork before approval? You should not. Supervisor names are approved before the study is undertaken, and your proposal has to be approved first. Data collected ahead of that is data you may not be allowed to use. What is the BANE 154 project evaluation fee? 500 rupees because IGNOU charges 300 for project work, up to 4 credits and 500 above 4 credits. It is paid along with the examination form. Can I apply for re-evaluation of my dissertation? No. Re-evaluation and improvement in division are permitted in the term-end examination only, and not for a project report or a dissertation. That single rule is why the first draft has to be treated as the final one. I joined in 2024. Do I still do BANE 154? Check your program code first. BANE 154 belongs to BSCANH. Learners on BSCFAN, the 4-year Anthropology program offered from January 2024, follow a different structure. And how long should the dissertation be? Follow section 1.4.2 of the Fieldwork Manual and confirm with your supervisor. Do not borrow the 10 to 15,000 word figure from postgraduate project pages because it does not belong to this course. Let us recap everything in one screen. BANE 154 is an optional discipline specific elective, but the fieldwork inside it is compulsory. 6 credits, Semester 6, School of Social Sciences. Your supervisor is already at your study center. Minimum 4 meetings of about 30 minutes each. Proposal approved before you collect a single interview. Project evaluation fee of 500 rupees paid with the exam form. 1 single PDF uploaded on the portal, 35% to pass, and no re-evaluation afterwards. One last thing, and it matters more than anything else we have said: word and page limits, the exact mark split, whether a Viva applies in your cycle, and the submission deadline can all change. Confirm them in your own BANE 154 Fieldwork Manual and on ignou.ac.in and the Samath portal. We are an independent guidance service, not IGNOU. And where we could not verify a figure from an official source in this video, we told you so rather than inventing one. That is the standard we hold ourselves to. That is the complete BANE 154 dissertation journey, from choosing the elective to uploading the final PDF. If this helped, subscribe, because we are building one of these for every IGNOU project course. For a synopsis or dissertation query, you can reach us on WhatsApp at 9354637830 or visit ignouproject.com. I am BK Sahni, founder, guiding IGNOU students since 2010. All the best with your fieldwork.